Yes.
What can I do for you?
Give me back my husband.
Give you back your husband?
Yes. You're wondering what he is. He's a blonde man, not very tall, wears spectacles. He's a lawyer, your manager's lawyer. Alfred is his first name.
Oh, I have met him, yes.
I know you have. I implore you, give him back to me.
You mustn't mistake my silence for embarrassment. I'm at a loss because I don't quite see how I can give you back your husband when I don't quite have him to give.
You just admitted that you knew him.
That scarcely implies that I've taken him from you. Of course I know him. He drove my last contract. And it seems to me I've seen him once or twice since then, backstage. A rather nice-spoken, fair-haired man. Did you say he wore spectacles?
Yes.
I don't remember him with spectacles.
He probably took them off. He wants to look his best to you. He's in love with you. He never takes them off when I'm around. He doesn't care how he looks when I'm around. He doesn't love me. Now I implore you, give him back to me.
If you weren't such a foolish young woman, I should be very angry with you. Wherever did you get the idea that I've taken your husband?
He sends you flowers all the time.
That's not true.
It is.
It isn't. He never sent me a flower all his life. Did he tell you he did?
No. I found out at the florist's. The flowers are sent to your dressing room twice a week and charged to him.
That's a lie.
Do you mean to say that I am lying?
I mean to say that someone is lying to you.
And what about this letter?
Letter?
He wrote it to you, and he said,
He wrote it to me. Let me see.
no, I'll read it to you. My darling, shan't be able to make it to the theater tonight. Urgent business. 1,000 apologies, 10,000 kisses. Alfred.
Oh.
I found it on his desk this morning. He probably intended to send it to the theater by messenger. But he forgot it. And I opened it.
You mustn't cry.
Why mustn't I? You steal my husband and I mustn't cry? Oh, I know how little it means to you. And how easy it is for you. One night you dress like a royal princess and the next night you undress like a Greek goddess. You blacken your eyebrows and you redden your lips and you wax your lashes and paint your face. You have cosmetics and bright lights to make you seem beautiful. And author's lines to make you seem witty and wise. No wonder a poor simple-minded lawyer falls in love with you. What chance have I against you in my own cheap little frock, in my own lips and eyebrows, in my own unstudied ways? I don't know how to strut and pose and lure a man. I haven't got Mr. Shakespeare to write beautiful speeches for me. In reality, you may be more stupid than I am. I admit, when it comes to alluring men, I'm no match for you.
This is a very interesting case.
What is?
Yours.
Mine? What do you mean?
I mean that I never received a flower or a letter or anything else from your husband. Tell me, haven't you and your husband been getting on rather badly of late?
Yes, of course.
And you used to be very affectionate towards each other?
Why, yes.
And of late you've been quite cold?
Yes.
Of course, a typical case. My dear, if you knew how often we actresses met this sort of thing, it's perfectly clear that your husband has been playing a little comedy to make you jealous, to revive your interest in him.
Do you really think that? Do you mean to say such a thing has happened to you before?
Endless times. It happens to every actress who is moderately pretty and successful. It's one of the oldest expedients in the world, and we actresses are such conspicuous targets for it. There is scarcely a man connected with the theater who doesn't make use of us in that way, sometime or another. Authors, composers, scene designers, lawyers, orchestra leaders, and even the managers themselves, to regain a a wife or a sweetheart's affection, all they need to do is invent a love affair with one of us. Usually, the wife is always so ready to believe it. And we don't know a thing about it. But even when it is brought to our attention, we don't mind so much. At least we have the consolation of knowing we are the means of making many a marriage happy, which might have otherwise ended in the divorce court.
But how could I know?
There, dear, you mustn't apologize. You couldn't know, of course. It seems so plausible. You fancy your husband in an atmosphere of perpetual temptation, in a backstage world full of beautiful sirens, without scruples or morals. One actress, you suppose, is more dangerous than 100 ordinary women. You hate us and fear us. None understands that better than your husband, who is evidently a very cunning lawyer. He plays on your fear and your jealousy to regain the love you deny him. He writes a letter and he leaves it behind him on the desk so you may find it. Trust a lawyer never to do that unintentionally. He orders flowers for me by telephone in the morning and probably cancels the order the moment he reaches the office. By the way, hasn't he a lock of my hair?
Yes, in his desk drawer. I brought it with me.
Yes, they bribed my hairdresser to steal it from me. It's a wonder I have any hair left at all.
Is that how he got it?
I can't imagine how else. Tell me, hasn't he left any of my love letters lying around?
No.
Don't be alarmed, I haven't written him any.
Then what made you...
I might have, if he had come to me frankly and said, I say, Sarah, will you do something for me? My wife and I are getting on so well. Would you write me a passionate love letter that I may leave lying around the house where she may find it? I should certainly have done it for him. I'd have written a letter that would have made you weep into your pillow for a fortnight. I wrote 10 like that for an eminent playwright once, but he had no luck with them. His wife was such a proper person, she returned them to him all unread.
How clever you are. How good.
I'm neither better nor worse than any other girl in the theater, even though you do consider us such monsters.
I have been a perfect fool.
Well, you do look a bit silly, standing there with tears in your eyes, and your face flushed with happiness because you've discovered that little blonde man with spectacles loves you, after all. My dear, no man deserves to be adored as much as that. But then, it's your own affair, isn't it?
Yes.
Yet, I want to give you a bit of parting advice. Don't let him fool you like this again.
He won't. Never fear.
No matter what you may find in his pockets, letters, handkerchiefs, my photograph, no matter what flowers he sends or letters he writes or appointments he makes, don't be taken in a second time.
You may be sure of that. And you won't say anything to him about my coming here, will you?
Not a word. I'm angry with him for not having come to me to use my name the way he did.
You are a dear. And I don't know how to thank you.
Now you mustn't begin crying all over again.
You have made me so happy.
All right, Alfred, you can come in now. She's gone.